there. So I was thinking last night about empaths and how a lot of the Mandela affected people seem to be empaths. And I suddenly had this train of thought that kind of just took off all on its own. Me being an empath, I've noticed throughout my life that I generally don't bump into other empaths. It's almost like, I'll get everybody else. You get a lot of really negative people. I noticed that we're magnets for the negative people, and then just sort of everyday people. I mean, not that we're not everyday people, but you know what I mean. Um, we seem to be like magnets, and we attract all walks of life that they open up to us and seem to need us. And I was thinking to myself last night that it's like, wow, this whole Mandela effect seems to have brought like a whole bunch of empaths together in one place at one moment. It's really weird because I don't think in a normal life I would bump into. I mean, I personally, where I live and in throughout the course of my life, I don't think I've ever met a person that had felt things like I feel. Since I've been making my videos and since I've been watching other videos that all had to do with the Mandela effect, this is the first time that I suddenly realized that I'm not really weird in my own little world, because that's what I always thought. I didn't realize there was other people out there that had the empathy and the sensitivity that I do. And so I started thinking to myself, I wonder if that's part of this. Maybe this is a way to get these type of people together. I mean, it really seems like it's a really, really big part of it, and all of us sharing these same synchronicities, and I don't know, it seems like maybe I'm onto something. And for those of you, that aren't as familiar of empaths, maybe you're not sure if you are one. An empath, it sees when you are affected by other people's energies and have an innate ability to intuitively feel and perceive others. Your life is unconsciously influenced by others' desires, wishes, thoughts, and moods. I'm just going to touch on a few of the things. I'm not going to read this whole article. Empaths are often quiet achievers. However, they can be the exact opposite, reclusive and apparently unresponsive at the best of times. They may even appear ignorant. Some are very good at blocking out others, and that's not always a bad thing, at least for the learning empath struggling with a barrage of emotions from others as well as their own feelings. And that's a hard one, because if you're an empath, and especially if you're a strong one, it gets really, really overwhelming. And I mean, I haven't even figured out how to do this yet, but you have to be able to put up walls, which then appears to other people that you're being, reclusive, that you're being even negative, but you're not. You're protecting yourself. I still have to figure out how to do that. Empaths have a tendency to openly feel what is outside of them more so than what is inside of them. This can cause empaths to ignore their own needs. In general, an empath is nonviolent, non-aggressive, and leans more towards being the peacemaker. Empaths are more inclined to pick up another's feelings and project it back without realizing its origin in the first place. Empaths are sensitive to TV, videos, movies, news, and broadcasts. Violence or emotional dramas depicting shocking scenes of physical or emotional pain inflicted on adults, children, or animals can bring an empath easily to tears. Yeah, this is why I stay away from. I mean, the news is all BS anyhow. it's total BS. But yeah, I stay away from that type of stuff. I think there was, let's see, I think there was a couple other interesting things I was going to. Complete strangers find it easy to talk to empaths about the most personal things, and before they know it, they have poured out their hearts and souls without intending to do so consciously. It is as though on a subconscious level that person knows instinctively that empaths would listen with compassionate understanding. Then again, for empaths, it is always nice to actually be heard themselves. True, true. Empaths are often problem solvers, thinkers, and studiers of many things. As far as empaths are concerned, where a problem is, so too is the answer. They often will search until they find one, if only for peace of mind. Empaths are often vivid and/or lucid dreamers. They can dream in detail and are inquisitive of dream content. Often they feel as though the dreams are linked to their physical life somehow and not just a mumble of nonsensical, irrelevant, meaningless images. This curiosity will lead many empathic dreamers to unravel some of the mysterious dream's contents from an earlier age and connect the interpretation to its relevance in their physical life. Empaths frequently experience deja vu and synchronicities, which may initially start as, oh, what a coincidence, will lead to the understanding of synchronicities as an aspect of who they are. These synchronicities will become a welcomed and continually expanding occurrence. As an understanding of self grows, the synchronicities become more fluent and free-flowing. The synchronicities can promote a feeling of euphoria, as empaths identify with them and appreciate the connection to their empathic nature. Empaths are most likely to have varying paranormal experiences through their lives. Near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences can catapult an unaware empath into the awakening period and provide the momentum for a journey of discovery. And then that brings me to something else that, I was thinking. We all seem to be brought together now. I mean, I like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I've never in my life been around so many sensitive and empathic people, and I'm in awe. And so then what that brings me to is, okay, if this has something to do with the effect, if for some reason people that feel the way that we do are being brought together, then the next step would be for us to start to acknowledge what's called emotional vampires, and to find ways to block that. I mean, if we're all together as empaths and we're somehow getting stronger that way, which kind of seems that way to me, then we also need to be fighting off the negativity, so we can keep our positive energy. I hope I'm making sense. And this doctor here, he talks about the five types of emotional vampires. First is the narcissist. Their motto is me first. Everything is all about them. They have a grandiose sense of self-importance and entitlement, hog attention, and crave admiration. They are dangerous because they lack empathy and have a limited capacity for unconditional love. If you don't do things their way, they become punishing, withholding, or cold. So, he goes on to say how to protect yourself from this. Keep your expectations realistic. These are emotionally limited people. Try not to fall in love with one or expect them to be selfless or to love without strings attached. Never make your self-worth dependent on them or confide your deepest feelings to them. To successfully communicate, the hard truth is that you must show how something will be to their benefit. Though it's better not to have to contend with this tedious ego stroking. If the relationship is unavoidable, this approach works. So the second one is the victim. These vampires grate on you with their poor me attitude. The world is against them. It's the reason for their unhappiness. When you offer a solution to their problem, they say yes, but so these type of people, to protect yourself from them, set kind but firm limits. Listen briefly to the friend or relative, but then say, I love you, but I can only listen for a few minutes unless you want to discuss solutions. And so on and so forth. The third type of emotional vampire is the controller. These people obsessively try to control you and dictate how you're supposed to be and feel. They have an opinion about everything. They'll control you by invalidating your emotions when they don't fit into their own rule book. They often start sentences with, you know what you need? Yeah. And then proceed to tell you. You end up feeling dominated, demeaned, or put down. So, to protect yourself from this, the secret to success is to never try to control a controller. Be healthily assertive, but don't tell them what to do. You can say, I value your advice, but really need to work through this myself. Be confident and don't play the victim. The next one is the constant talker. Sorry, I only read a little bit of the beginning, and so I as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that person. Yeah, I definitely know that person. I'm surrounded by these people. Lord, okay. These people aren't interested in your feelings. They are only concerned with themselves. You may wait for an opening to get a word in edgewise, but it never comes. Or they might physically move in so close that they're practically breathing on you. You edge backwards, but they step closer. So, to protect yourself from the constant talker. These individuals don't respond to nonverbal cues. You must speak up and interrupt, as tough as that is to do. Listen for a few minutes, then politely say, I hate to interrupt, but I have to talk to these other people, get to an appointment, go to the bathroom, whatever. If it's a family member, politely say, I'd love if you allowed me some time to talk so I can add to the conversation. And then last, I think this is the last one, yeah. Last one is the drama queen. These people have a flair for small incidents into off-the-chart dramas. My patient Sarah was exhausted when she hired a new employee who was always late. One week he had the flu and he almost died. Next, his car was towed again. Each time this employee left her office, Sarah felt tired and used. So to protect yourself from the drama queen, a drama queen can't draw energy from equanimity. Stay calm and take a few deep breaths. This will help you not get caught up in the histrionics. Set kind but firm limits. Say, for example, you must be here on time. Those are some of the lesser ones. That's why he put those last. I mean, the first one is the worst. Yeah. So, and there's a lot more information out there on the emotional vampires, and how to stay away from negativity. And then here he's got 5 signs that you've encountered the emotional vampire. Your eyelids are heavy and you feel ready for a nap. Your mood takes a nosedive. You want to binge on carbs or comfort foods. You feel anxious, depressed, or negative. You feel put down. But this really did get me thinking. The fact that in this area with the Mandela Effect, it seems, and not just on YouTube videos, but there's been a lot of groups that have been created for places for all of us to get together, and if part of what this is bringing a bunch of like-minded, sensitive, caring type individuals together in one place, to grow more positive energy. I'm not sure what's supposed to happen next, but then it seems to me we also need to start pushing away and putting up walls and fighting off emotional vampires and negative energy, anything that is going to take away the empathy that we have, take away our sensitivity or drain us, and focus it on the positive. So I just wanted to talk about this because I was really thinking about it last night, and it seems to make a lot of sense. So I hope, I'm sure a lot of you already know this information that I just talked about, but some of you may not. So I hope that I helped somebody. And I guess on that note, I'm just going to wrap it up. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye. So if you're like me and you're always thinking and you enjoyed this content, then by all means, hit like. And if you enjoyed this channel and would like to support it, if you haven't already, then please subscribe by hitting the button below. And one more thing, I love reading your comments, and they really mean a lot to me. So please comment below and I will respond. As always, thank you for watching.